Yo, what's up, guys? What it do is your boy Boxingmaestros. We're gonna do a little breakdown of Spence versus Tszyu this Saturday. I'm sure we all have our doubts and want to talk it out. I guess how we feel about this fight because both guys have a lot of wear and tear on them, a lot of mileage, and it's a lot of wild cards going on here. So first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for subscribing. If you're watching this, it's probably because you're a subscriber, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much, yo. And everything in this video is not gonna be scripted. I don't have anything written out or anything like that. I just got my topics up there. I can see everything that you guys are seeing, and that's about it. Gonna do it like this. This is how we're gonna do the subscriber thing, so you guys can see it, without any edits, without any. I'll probably add some music on the background or something like that, but I'm not gonna do any scripting or cutting off my audio. So let's get into it, yo. Spence versus Tszyu, yo. How we feel about it? Spence, as you guys may know, some of y'all that read the comments, whenever you comment on the pictures, I always try to reply unless there's like 1,000 comments or something. Then it's very hard for me to keep up, but usually I do reply every single day, several times a day. So if you guys know me, you guys know that I'm a Spence fan. I was rooting for Spence against Crawford. That did not work out. It didn't go our way at all. Still have my doubts of what happened in that fight, but whatever, it happened. So Spence has retired or not retired for about 3 years. He's been off of boxing for 3 years. He's been building a farm, playing with horses, going to his kids' soccer games and things like that. If you guys check him out on Instagram, that's what he's been doing this whole time. He claims that he's been training. I haven't seen him been training up until recently. The past couple months with Ronnie Shields, he's been training a little with Charlo there as well, Jermall Charlo, and aside from that, we don't really know how Spence is gonna come in, yo. We don't know how he's doing. He looks in shape, but we all know that being in shape is not enough. We gotta look at his reaction times. We gotta look at how fast he reacts to things. If he gets hit, if he can take it. Sometimes when guys have not a lot of activity going on in the ring, every punch just feels different, So we gotta see how Spence is doing according to that. We gotta know how his retina's doing. Maybe his retina had other issues when he was off. So we don't know. I also heard rumors that Spence didn't fight in the US. He preferred to fight in Australia because they thought that he wasn't gonna get cleared to fight in the US. So I don't know if that rumor is true or not. I just heard it here and there, people mentioning it. It's a good speculation, I guess you can say, but then say he wants it in Australia, that he likes going to people's backyard and taking their belts. He's done it before, so let's see how he does it this time. In the videos, he looks like he's in shape. Like I said, he's hitting the mitts and all, but we'll see how he does that when he's getting hit back by Tszyu. Sparring is different than the actual fights, as we all know. Sparring, you wear the helmet. Sparring, you're not necessarily trying to kill the other guy. Sometimes you do, but when you're professional, you don't really try to do that the last couple weeks before the fight. You don't want to suffer an injury or a cut or something like that, or even get knocked out in your own sparring session before the fight. So we'll see how Spence is doing. On as far as how Tim Tszyu is doing, or him Tszyu, how some people want to call him. As far as how he's doing, he's been active. He fought about 3 or 4 months ago, I believe. He won. But aside from that win, in his last 6 fights, he's had about 3 losses. The losses have been tough. Murtasaliev dropped him like 3 or 4 times. Tszyu says he doesn't remember most of the fight. He remembers like the first round or something like that. We saw him there. We saw him dropped a few times. We saw him hurt a few times. And we saw that whenever he's hurt, he doesn't take care of himself. He doesn't block. He doesn't hold. He tries to just fight it out and tries to drop the other guy. He tries to like man it out, I guess you can say. But that doesn't always work out, as we saw with Murtasaliev. The other fight that we saw was against Sebastian Fundora. He was doing good in the first fight. He was doing very good in the first fight, actually. I thought he was going to drop or knock out Fundora until he suffered the cut. Fundora threw, I think it was a left hand, and he overthrew it, and he just followed through with it and hit him with the elbow right in the eyebrow. He basically took off Tim Tszyu's eyebrow for the whole fight. He had no eyebrow. It was just a big old gash on top of his eye. He couldn't really see very well. Sebastian took over after that and beat him the first time. The second time, when Sebastian Fundora fought Tim Tszyu, he made him quit. As far as I remember, he quit on the stool. You guys can correct me in the comments down below if I'm mistaken, but he quit on the stool. Or was that the Murtasaliev fight? I don't remember. It was one of those two. Well, either way, I remember Fedora beating his ass towards the end, landing a lot of left hands and right hooks, and I think it was like a stoppage or something like that. So he's had some tough losses as well. So it's like, which one do you want? Do you want the guy that's been inactive and resting, or do you want the guy that's been very active but getting his ass whooped every now and then? You know. So that's the dilemma we're dealing with here. Also, I would like to mention that Spence is 36. He is on the older side of boxing age. In the past few decades, the boxing age limit has risen. With Marquez, Pacquiao, Usyk, Terence Crawford, and maybe now Spence are all a little bit older and have retired older, and they've been able to last because they're gifted and they take care of themselves. Well, Spence necessarily doesn't take care of himself up until this last 3 years. He likes to party, he likes to drink, he's had injuries, life-changing injuries, the crash, the retina, all these things, and he's 36 now. So I think another thing that we got to take into account is that Spence is on the older side. So how are these injuries going to affect him now that he's older and inactive? You know what I mean? So how is his body doing? How are his muscles? How is everything? We don't want him to, get a cramp or something in the boxing ring or something. Which let's hope not. Let's hope we get an actual fight. We get a decent ending to the fights. As far as Tszyu, he's 31. He's 31, but he's a 31 with a lot of mileage. Again, we go back. 31, he's on the younger side, but he's been in a lot of wars already. So how much wear and tear does he actually have? Not just physically, but mentally, due to all those fights that he had a tough time with. People are doubting his heart. People are doubting whether he is actually wanting to fight or he just wants to live up to his father's legacy, which is not living up to it, unfortunately. He had a tough career, and a lot of people are dogging him out about it, telling him what I just said, that he's never gonna make it to be like his dad or even better or whatnot, and that takes a lot of mental toll on you. So we just gotta see how good he is mentally, yo. I mean, we've seen the interviews, we've seen the face-offs. Vince, he looks mad. He's mad at Tszyu. I don't remember what exactly he said about him, but I believe he said he was a walk in the park or something like that. He took it as disrespect. And Tszyu tried to shake his hand in the hallway backstage somewhere before an interview, and he didn't want to shake his hand. He left him hanging. He said he's not going to do it. In another interview, when they were sitting down together, he shook somebody's hand, and then he said, "I'm not going to shake your hand. I don't want to shake your hand." And Spence is just mugging him the whole time, and Tszyu was just like, "All right, man, all right, whatever, listen." It seems like he says he doesn't care, but you can tell that it bothers him. It bothers him, but I'm not sure if it's bothers him good, he's gonna come motivated and want to beat that ass, bothers him, or if it's oh man, why is he acting like that? What did I do? Type of bother him, So those are the things, yo. Who has more heart? I don't know. I want to say Spence, because of the fight with Crawford. He took a lot of beating, just kept getting up and up and up. But I guess Tszyu did the same against Mortasaliev. Don't know who has more heart, who wants it more. I'm not sure. Does Spence actually want to make another run at the championship or undisputed? Or does Spence just want to know if he actually has it still or not? Or does Tszyu actually want it, or does he just want to prove that he's like his dad or better? Comment in the comments down below, yo. What do you think? Who has more heart, Spence or Tszyu, or both? In terms of the strengths, Tszyu has a lot of strengths. He's fast, reacts fast, and he has a good right hand. You gotta look out for that, because Tszyu, whenever he's on his P's and Q's, or however the fuck you say it, Team Tszyu is on it. He's got a great offense. His defense kind of sucks though. His defense is whack, gets hit a lot, and he's open to getting punched in between his punches, which I think is what Spence is gonna try to do. What are strengths and weaknesses for Spence? His strengths and weaknesses, as far as I can remember, he's got a good cardio. He throws a lot of punches. He can wear you down. He throws hard thudding punches to the body. He's a great body puncher. And he's got that left hand. He's got a good left hand. Sometimes he doubles up on it. And Tszyu, I believe he had trouble with Fedora's left hand. So I believe the left hand is going to be open for Spence to hit Tszyu. But I think also Tszyu's right hand is going to be open to hit Spence. depending on Spence's reaction time. You know, like I said, if Spence comes in like 80% what he was before, I think it's gonna be a good fight and a tough fight for Tszyu. If he does not, I think Tszyu might be able to rock him and take him out soon before the 6th round. If not, if everybody's ready for the fights, Tszyu comes ready, Spence comes ready, I think we're gonna get a good back and forth fight. Both guys are gonna land good shots, but I think the longer the fight goes, the more that Spence is likely to win, either on decision or by stoppage. And I think Spence, if he comes and he's ready for it, I think he's gonna come and try to get the stoppage on Tszyu. So stay tuned for that. Yo, comment down below who you think is gonna win. Let me know, and we'll see you on Saturday. Yo, stay tuned. Thanks for following, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting. You guys have a good one.